That's how he got there. That was the whole aesthetic. You're not expecting somebody that's dressed like some kind of hoodlum to literally sing so angelic. Yo, NXG, listen, we're back again with a reaction. And this one is a little different because we get into more to like the music side. And listen, somebody like me, I'm a fan of music. I listen to rock, I listen to rap, I'm trying to get into more the alternative wave. Like, I'm trying to expand my palette. I don't want to be like a generic bum that just listens to rap all day. I'm sorry. If you are one, hey, shout out to you. I cannot be that kind of person. I'm sorry. Now, will I consistently play music when I'm with friends? When it comes to rap, of course. But why would I play something that they're not used to? Use your heads. But outside of that, let's get into the real thing. Listen, I hope that some of y'all that came back or y'all new here, don't forget to like, and subscribe, and share the video. Do all that cool things like hit the notification bell while subscribing. Because listen, this month is a big month for me, and I gotta lock in. I gotta lock in very well because it's a special month. Very, very special. Because my birthday is a couple weeks away, and got some goals I want to try to hit. But that was not the point. Listen, this is a reaction. The original video is going to be in the description below. If you end up not liking me yapping, go to the description. The original vid is going to be there. But outside of that, let's get to it. Okay, this is about 4Bats. It's an obvious industry plant, but nobody cares. Yes, you can tell somebody is an industry plant, or they kind of like move up into like an industry plant as Ice Spice, kind of in that realm. Let's keep it a buck, because after people found out about that one song about her saying, we both in our Bronx, so I know that you 30. Like, her career skyrocketed, and then you got Ian. Not trying to diss Ian, kind of, you know? I don't think he's an industry plant, but the way he moved up was kind of industry plant-esque.
While everyone is discussing whether or not 4Bats is an industry plant, nobody seems to discuss why it's actually working. Because the creation and rollout of 4Bats' image, music, and branding...
Oh yeah, but 4Bats, for sure, gotta be industry plant. Because how do you already got a co-sign from Kanye West himself? And then you also got a co-sign from Drake. And you want to drop like 2-3 tracks?
Is quite literally perfect. Now, even I will admit there is something suspicious going on here. He made his first song 1 year ago called Act 1 Stickers 99, which now sits at 45 million streams. But at the time of release, it basically fell on deaf ears. Then he posted a music video and a handful of TikToks for 6 months before dropping his second song, Act 2 Data 8 in December.
And this is what skyrocketed. Look at that big number. 171 million listeners that listen to this song.
When it exploded in virality within a week. His From the Block performance went viral, his On the Radar performance went viral, and he shot up to over 9 million monthly listeners after just 2 songs. All his cover arts basically look the same, and you could tell with his Act 1, Act 2, Act 3 release plan that this was all very calculated, very thought out, and very strategized. Then in the beginning of 2024, he signed to OVO.
See?
Dropped a remix of Act 2 with Drake, and now also has a song with Usher. Act 2 has over 270 million streams when combined with the remix, and when you consider his manager Amber Ajee is the lead creative manager at RCA Records, a woman who has worked on creative campaigns for Doja Cat, Justin Timberlake, and Post Malone, it seems pretty clear that 4Bats has had a multi-million-dollar machine behind him since the very beginning. And when most people hear this objective information, they just say he's an industry plant. They clearly wiped his back catalog. He was discovered by the majors, and they took him in and they rebranded him and they re-strategized his career going forward, and that he wouldn't be successful if it wasn't for the label. Now, even I will admit, like, look, having that multi-million-dollar machine is very important, but you also have to remember that record labels are constantly trying to do this with hundreds, thousands of artists, and they don't always hit as big as 4Bats. They actually almost never do. There are very specific things that make 4Bats genuinely different, which made him immensely successful, and it isn't just because he has a lot of money behind his brand. But in order to understand that, we must analyze 2 very important steps of the current music climate. An artist today must get your attention first and then impress you with their music second, because most people don't go out of their way to discover music anymore. They just happen to hear it on TikTok, and
that's another thing. All it takes is for you to have somewhat catchy songs that people can move their body to on TikTok. TikTok is where most people get discovered. And that's just kind of how it is. Even though we all hate the app, it created a whole bunch of people's careers.
Instagram, YouTube, or through social media, through friends, on the radio. Like, sure, my audience actively deep dives on Spotify and SoundCloud to hunt and discover an upcoming artist, and they actually go out of their way to discover music, but most people don't do that.
Yeah, me, I discover music off like YouTube and Spotify. Like, if I hear something like positive, or I keep like, so this is how my mindset is, and I hope that somebody can agree on this. You ever like go to a vid of a song, and then in the right like corner is like a whole bunch of vids, and it's like been there, and then you just see, I keep seeing this one video right there, and then you eventually just break, and you're like, let me go ahead and try to check it out. It's probably a good song. Then majority of the time, like 85% of the time, it's a good song and it deserves the views.
So if you think about it, it's arguably more important to know how to get people's attention than it is to make good music. And we all understand by now that social media is the #1 way an artist will gain a fan base in 2024. Therefore, they have to create content that will engage people
or another thing,
to like, follow, share.
You like have an artist that you listen to, and then they feature, and you're like,
actually listen to their music.
His part was
However,
good.
they are also competing with literally
after.
every other blog, content creator, brand that's trying to steal your attention away from you. So regular people have gotten to the point where they can determine within seconds if they are interested in something. Like, you're probably only going to give a post that you see on social media 1 to 5 seconds before you just scroll right past it. So an artist needs to create a visual that's impactful and interesting and compelling enough to make you stop scrolling and become invested in whatever they're sharing. But the job is not done there, because what if they make bad music? Like, sure, they may have gotten your attention, but then as soon as you heard the song, you just scrolled past it because it wasn't good. I've spent over 6 years now studying and learning how to get people's attention as a full-time content creator, and I'd like to say I'm pretty good at it. And now I'm using that expertise to give artists advice and strategies on how to get more attention on their content through my music marketing newsletter called Tuned In. After you purchase a membership at tunedin.marketing or purchase using the link in the description, you will receive an easy to
Patrick, you are a smart nigga. You are a smart nigga. Bro, this man sneaked that promo in. He sneaked that promo in, bro. He sneaked that promo. You a smart man. You a smart man. I ain't gonna lie. You smart. You smart. Offer might write that down.
If you sign up yearly instead of monthly.
I might write that down.
Forbats figured out the recipe.
Bro, I get it. I get it. Hey.
Which is a staple of every UK drill rapper. Just being able to see their eyes and mouth has this menacing, mysterious vibe. Additionally, he had a crew of people around him all dressed like they were about to do a drill. He's carrying cash and doing the money spread, which is just another trap staple. But literally none of these visuals or imagery would be considered unique if it wasn't for...
Yep. You want to know my epiphany that I just had? Okay, you know how he just looked like just a random hood nigga? Like, dressed up in a whole shiesty? I think that is what kind of created it. And you're like, oh, somebody that told him to into like dressing like that and then added on doing what he been doing. Because trust me, you don't just learn how to sing like he does. You just don't learn how to do that. That's gotta come natural when you was a kid. But outside of that, so I think that was the whole aesthetic that people like clicked on because of that. You're like, what the hell is this dude? Like, sounded so angelic when he's dressing like. No offense to these dudes. Listen, these dudes probably is some good people, good gentlemen. But outside of that, right? They probably dress like this. And you're like, you would think they just rap. That's how they sink you in.
He is singing softly and emotionally about a girl. His voice is pitched up so he sounds like a child. This same exact formula was used by Rumor 4 years ago with his viral song Rascal, where he is singing a beautiful country ballad while posted up around dangerous dudes with weapons. But the contrast between the song and the visual makes people stop scrolling. Like, when he was initially going viral, they saw it and they're like, okay, I like UK drill, I like drill music, let's see if this guy goes hard. Like, and then they hear him singing and they're like, whoa, wait, what's going on? I mean, Kai Cenat's reaction to it is perfect.
Who the See, I fucking said it, bro. That's how he got there. That was the whole aesthetic. You're not expecting somebody that's dressed like some kind of hoodlum to literally sing so angelic.
It's these thugs.
See, even Kai.
I'll come and slap by 8 p.m.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Yo, why my heart just... Yo, what the...
Now, it's pretty clear that this was a paid reaction because there's just no chance that Kai would see something that he's never seen before and say, what are these thugs up to? Only to be like, whoa, well, I'm so surprised.
But yeah, we already know. He's probably right about that. About it being like a paid reaction. But other people's reaction was damn near the same exact.
Like, why would he say, what are these thugs up to? You know, like, because he already watched it. He already knew what he was going to say because he was likely paid to do the reaction. And even if he wasn't, he probably saw that it was going viral and knew that he could get a viral reaction out of it. If he didn't know, people fake their reactions. I mean,
of course,
it just happens.
Not me, though. Not me. Hey, I might react, but hey, gang, listen, none of my reactions is fake. All my reactions is real. You ever been thinking I'm damn clip farming? No. I am the clip. I am the clip. I do it to myself. I do it to myself before I try to act like
look at it. They already kind of know a narrative, right? I'm not calling out every reactor. We know No Life Shaq is legit. We know Dante is legit. But there are some where it's like, okay, they're like, what am I going to do? Because I'm being paid to react to this. So how am I going to make it different and interesting so that the person who paid me can get their money's
my music
worth, right?
reactions, yeah, I don't react to
it's business people. Plus, in some of Forbats' early TikToks, you can see him posting the caption like, when the voice doesn't match the rapper, which is kind of just like a common content strategy idea that has permeated throughout TikTok and YouTube for many years now.
I remember, bro.
And it worked really well for Forbats because it honestly describes what's going on here perfectly. But there's an even deeper way to analyze Forbats' success. These days, an artist is no longer an artist. They are a brand. And music is no longer art. It's a product. And in order to buy a product, you have to learn about it. So before you buy into or become a fan of an artist, you need to learn about them. Some products take a lot of time to learn about before you buy them. For example, electronics. Most of you don't make a quick decision to buy a computer monitor or a Wi-Fi router or a camera. You take hours, sometimes days, maybe even weeks or months to do research, watch reviews, analyze the specs, look at the competition, months to do research, watch.
Can we keep it a buck that this man here is literally the Black Mr. Beast when it comes to literally anything you end up thinking about, like when it comes to electronic wise? He's gonna explain it in the most best way that you probably can. I swear to God. If y'all don't know who this is, check this man out. I swear. It's crazy.
Reviews, analyze the specs, look at the competition. The length of time it takes you to buy one of these products dramatically changes the business plan of the companies who make them. They spend extra effort and money and resources designing it, thinking about additional features and value propositions. This way, it lasts longer and it is worth the assumed high price tag. It also means the product will mean more or be considered more valuable to the customer who bought it. Inversely, if you're buying a pen or a water bottle or some chapstick, you're probably just like, yeah, that looks good, I'll buy it. You don't really think about it all too much. So the companies who make it don't necessarily need to put in years of research and development because they know most customers are going to make a quick decision on whether or not to buy it. The amount of time or money it takes to get someone to buy something is called customer acquisition cost. And if you think about it, new artists have to do the exact same thing, but the customers are called fans. Artists like Forbats that are blowing up have what I call a low fan acquisition cost. Since there isn't much there to digest or understand, it makes it much easier to buy or become a fan of his music. It's like the water bottle. Looks good, feels good, has a cool color. There's a little bonus storage container underneath, keeps the water cold. Like, it's pretty much it, so let's buy it. If you watched the intro of this video, which I know you did, you now know Forbats' whole backstory. There really isn't much there. You know the cool juxtaposition between his image and his music, and his R&B tracks are vibey and enjoyable. So now you know everything you need to know about him. There's really nothing deeper there, so you just now have to determine if you're a fan or not. The more simplified your branding is as an artist, the better. If your entire brand can be summed up into one sentence, you have the potential to be huge. Why? Because imagine you're talking to a friend who isn't chronically online like you are. and you're trying to ask them if they know, or you're trying to describe a celebrity or artist. Maybe that's popping off, or maybe that's new, and you just want to ask them if they had ever heard of them. Yo, you ever heard of Ike?
I know a nigga that's like this. I know a dude that's like, I ain't gonna say no name. They already know who that is. There's no shade, but this is basically, bro, I could go a whole day, nothing. Oh, you ever heard of so-and-so? Like, I'm like, you just gonna just say that just off rip? I like how about my day? How about you just tell me, yeah, bro, hey, I was a little stressed, man, bro, I was going through it. Oh, you ever heard of so-and-so? No. And then they turn out to be some, like an artist, or they do end up doing some kind of music that you don't really mess with. Listen, I'm a man that does not like New York. If you send me somebody that's from that realm, I might watch. Because I literally said it a couple times. I just don't like it. Because it's the same thing to me. It just, no.
Spice? No, who is that? Oh, it's the girl with the orange hair and the big ass that makes drill music. Or, yo, you know Mr. Beast? No, who's that? Oh, the dude who does the crazy YouTube challenges and gives away a ton of money. BLP Kosher. Jewish dude with wicks and grills that raps. Aiden Ross. Streamer who makes sus jokes while hanging out with rappers. Ian. Regular looking white boy who makes surprising...
Speaking of... He's the living proof of what I just said.
Hard trap music. Big X the Plug. Fat dude with unique samples who makes hard southern trap music. Patrick CC. YouTube documentaries about celebrities and their controversies. Yo, you know Four Bats? Nah, who's that? Oh, the dude who looks like a violent drill rapper but makes smooth R&B love songs. See what I mean there? And even if the conversations don't exactly take place like that, like those conversations take place in your brain. You look at something and you try to quickly figure out in the shortest amount of sentences, or the shortest amount of detail possible, who this person is and what they do. You just naturally subconsciously do that. The more complicated or unclear your branding is, the harder it becomes to share your music or to gain fans, because they just don't really understand, or they don't know how to categorize it in their brain. Like here's Angelo Mota, who kind of looks like he would be a Dreamville artist, but some people say he sounds like Kendrick Lamar. He does kind of make conscious rap, but it also could be considered hard trap music. He can also sing decently and make R&B, but he's also dabbled in making dancey music. And on top of that, he's a producer and makes his own beats that are usually super layered and complex. Like, to us music fans, that description sounded really intriguing and you'd probably go listen to him. But to the average person, you just bored and confused them with that long ass description. And I'm not trying to diss Angelo. I feel for him. Because the big overarching problem here is that music is supposed to be art. It's not supposed to be a product. That's just the reality of what it is. It's supposed to be nuanced and deep and thought out and digested and consumed slowly before you can really determine how you feel about it. Summarizing someone's entire life's hard work and art in one sentence is extremely difficult, but it is necessary to have explosive virality like Four Bats. The only caveat to this is that many artists who rise this fast fall just as hard, because they didn't take the time to grow a fan base and build a foundation to hold it down for them while they work on their next body of music, resulting in them constantly chasing that virality instead of building their core fan base. I do think Four Bats' music is good enough to stand on its own. Like, I don't think that the only reason why he will remain popular is because of a gimmick. I think he'll slowly rebrand over the next few years, take off the balaclava, and gradually merge into another mainstream R&B artist. Like, his next big viral moment will probably be when he decides to stop pitching up his voice, or when he takes off the balaclava, or maybe he'll start putting out some rap stuff like when Tory Lanez did, and people were like, wait, I thought he was an R&B guy. He could rap too?
Yeah.
But only time will tell.
Speaking of Tory's whole change of pace when it comes to music, like, you would think, oh wait, this dude makes R&B. Nope, he makes a mix of R&B and hip hop. I never knew broken rap until I heard him do a freestyle. I was like, hold on, he can kind of go. But yeah, guys, that is the video about Four Bats. Is a obvious industry plant, and I can kind of say, if somebody call him industry plant, I can't disagree. I can't. It's kind of true. It's just his come up. Like, think about it, right? When your come up kind of look kind of fishy, and the stuff that you end up doing, it's kind of like how you able to get like big artists to know you. It's like it takes underground people a lot longer to be discovered until they eventually do. Like, for example, We can use Jace. We can use Autumn. Even though what bro got caught up, weird as hell. Weird as hell. I think it's like what's it? I think it's Lil Player too. Anytime this man like drops something, he always like really gives me like the interesting. But that was only like to name a few of like people from the underground. But yeah, Candace, friends of the video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, all that cool stuff, and hit the notification bell on your way out. And yeah, energy is about to be on top. We are on the way. We over here just briefly getting to fourth quarter, and we gotta lock it. And I love it. So one of y'all. Hopefully, I see some of y'all back next time. And yeah, I am out of here.